And where we go, as you were saying.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, for some reason it wasn't allowing me to join, but now it is. It did allow me to join, but I wasn't able to hear you.
Okay.
Okay, so what's new?
Have you
So
heard?
apparently, yeah.
Yes, go on.
So apparently, this bill that was going to be very bad for the UK, right? Didn't pass a second reading. We made enough pressure to the point where we made it so it wouldn't pass. We've got till July. It's going to have a try and attempt for a second reading, right? But the bill could possibly be dead now, which is good.
What is the bill anyway?
Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, the Climate and Nature Bill will destroy the economy and private property. Its second reading in Parliament is on 24th of January 2025. If it becomes law, it will bring compulsory rewilding of more than 30% of the UK and place controls on travel and consumption. Didn't pass.
Wow. What a shocker.
We'll secret to hide from public the crimes UK will be able to get away with, including housing and land confiscation, just like Soviet Union and China. Brings us down to third world country. The Climate and Nature Bill bill has its second reading in Parliament tomorrow. The bill has not by accident slipped under the radar and avoided public scrutiny. Research Sarnians explains why the bill means for UK. Good, but it frickin' didn't pass the second reading. It'll have a second attempt in July or in June, which I'm sure they'll try and alter it slightly, but surely. But yeah, so what else is going on?
Alright, have you seen the recent national opinion poll recently?
Yep, Reform's doing extremely well, which does not surprise me because there are a lot of people that secretly in the country that want Trump-like policies in the UK. They might not like Trump, but they want Trump-like policies. My old man is interested in the policies that Trump's doing. So that tells you something. That tells you something that there's people that want. They might not say they want Trump, but they want Trump-like policies. And I think there's a lot more people secretly that would think at this point in time we may as well join America, because let's be real here, we're too tiny as a nation. Our options are we either fucking smuggle back into the EU and be a vassal, or we join America and at least we have the dignity of being with people that actually have speak the same language as us. And a bunch of foreigners that don't speak the same language as us. I'm sorry, but yes, we might be in Europe, right? But we don't share the same history as France. We don't share the same culture as Germany. We have nothing in common with these people, apart from the fact is that maybe we're European. I'm sorry, but we have no common. Yeah, a long time ago, we might have been a Roman province, but that's a long, long time ago. We have more in common with America and our own colonies than we have with the EU. I'm sorry, but I don't see the reason why we should be trying to power for the EU. I think we should focus. Why would we focus on an economy that is dead as fuck? Dead. Nobody. It's dead. A dead economy. Why would we focus on them when we could be focusing on trade deals with like America, Australia, Singapore, Hong Kong, countries that actually have economic opportunity and will actually be extremely wealthy? In my opinion, I would be like, in my opinion, as a British citizen, I would like to distance ourselves from China. I've been, I don't think I've told you this, but I've been watching videos of people talk about what's going on in China, right? The economic situation. People can't afford rent there. People can't afford to go home. Can't afford to go home for New Year's Eve, for New Year's Day, or for like Chinese New Year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're going on the fucking, instead of paying on the hyper trains, the fast hyper trains, right? They're opting for the freaking green trains, effectively the 200 yuan trains or yen. Like there's no opportunity there. A lot of companies are going to go bust. I think in the long term, right? Just because of the CC's leadership, nobody wants to travel to. They're saying that they're getting barely any foreigners coming to their country. Why would we want to go to China? No offense. Why would you want to go there? You make it fucking hard for people to integrate. You have to download multiple different apps. You have to use your phone to pay for things. Certain parts of China, they don't like foreigners. Not to mention, they don't like the fact of being watched 24/7 in that country. Like in certain parts, you have to even be able to order a taxi. You have to use someone else's phone. You have to have a freaking government issued a Chinese bank account. I don't think their country. I can see in the long term. I think China will break up into multiple different countries. I can't see China staying the way it is. The Chinese people, they don't want to have children. They don't want to have the thingy. They have given up. And they hope to freaking kill the CCP by not even freaking trying. I think in the long term, China will break up. So what else is there? You there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Okay. What else is there?
Alright, so... Oh yeah, the secret code you were saying about...
Yeah, cryptogram. Basically, I thought it was... And so that letter, that letter in that post, right? I thought it was a cryptogram. I thought it was a secret message. I thought there was a secret message in the code that had certain letters in it and certain things of a letter that would create, to a certain person, it would create like a certain type of code or a certain type of like freaking message. Basically, what we used to do in World War One and Two, right? We had people say we had our boys or women, and I think it was women at the time because of them were freaking fighting in the war, right? But they basically had women on the radio saying having a conversation, right? But putting in but at the time putting in a secret code that would be for that our troops would notice. So like maybe they would have like an odd letter or something, like pronounce something in a different letter, or they'd say a random word in between it. It's kind of similar. It's kind of like the German code, that the cryptograph codes that Germany used during the World War as well. Okay, let's check, see what there is. So Russia wants to take Fauci into their hands.
Interesting.
Yes. Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos control social media platforms, and what platform does Bezos control?
I didn't even know there was a platform.
Well, he owns Twitch, but let's be real here. Twitch is not even that relevant. The only platform but Bezos owns is Twitch. Bezos owns Twitch. Zuckerberg owns Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger. Musk owns X, and will probably own TikTok.
PayPal fined $2 million for exposing thousands of customers' SS.
2 million.
Yeah, $2 million.
Eh.
Yeah.
That's a slap on the wrist of them, ain't they? A fucking billion-dollar corporation. They probably what's their fucking revenue amount a year? Let's look that up. How much money did Facebook pay?
I wouldn't know.
It'll be publicans' filings. Did Facebook make? Did it was 33? How much? How much? Yeah, they made revenue. And they made 31 billion, but I'm going to check profit. So what else is there?
Mr. Beast among investors eyeing TikTok amid US ban concerns.
No thanks. We don't want that bloke involved. The fact he supported his pedo best friend for a while, or his best friend. So close friend. So what's going on with the TikTok situation?
Well, so ever since Trump has announced that TikTok won't be banned, January 19th, although TikTok servers were down for like 14 hours, it was back up again amidst Donald Trump getting back in the White House. And they have at least between 75 to 90 days since then before a deal is organized and done and dusted amongst who will have ownership of TikTok, despite TikTok themselves saying we're not selling out, but well,
you will
that's
sell.
not the case anymore.
You will sell out. You have no other option. If you want to keep TikTok in the thing, you will have to do a 50-50 partnership, or you'll have to do a revenue partnership, right?
Yeah.
At least for the American business, and I can guarantee you, they'll probably, in fact, this is what I would suggest. Instead, let's not make it just America. Why not have a deal to get all the revenue to make it? Why don't we do a 50-50 venture for all the countries in the West? All the Western countries. PayPal, France, Britain, Germany, UK, Ireland, Portugal, Spain, Morocco, Algeria. All the countries in the West. Okay, I'm looking at PayPal's thingy gap. Yeah, so I think a 1.2 billion or something like that is what they made. Like, what they made this year from what I'm looking at. Like, I could be wrong, but I'm looking at. I'm not seeing anything. Accounts payable, total liability.
This Governor Abbott wants $11 billion reimbursement for border security.
Reimbursement?
Oh yeah.
From who? New York?
The federal government.
I wonder how Trump will react to that.
Yeah.
We'll see as well. These actually depends. We'll see. What else is there?
Global tech giant unveils revolutionary AI-powered healthcare system.
No fan.
Yeah, like, isn't already a concern enough just having AI just taking whatever jobs is
I
easily
don't.
taken a
I don't want AI anywhere near the healthcare system, especially if when I'm a deathbed, because I'm scared they might fucking off me. Next, you'll be saying we've created a new way. Jamie, they always do this, right? Every company they always do this, right? They always have these weird cyclical cycles, right? Mainly, they always have these weird cyclical cycles. Every so often, every 1 to 2 years, I always have these cyclical cycles. First, it was the metaverse. First of all, it was streaming. Then it was the metaverse. Then it was EVs. Then it was like Then it was online banking. Then it was like streaming. You have streaming. Streaming was one of them. Electric vehicles was another. The metaverse was another one. NFTs were another one. What was another one? AI. That's another one. I'm pretty sure 3D printing was another one as well.
Yeah, and it's on the rise too.
Half of these things, right? They're just money pits. They're just like trends to freaking get fucking idiot retail investors to fucking dump money in it.
To make massive profits.
Yes, and then once they realize it's not fucking profitable, they fucking sink it. That private equity have already fucking liquidated and made money.
Also, speaking of EVs, EU considers EV subsidies to counter Chinese competition.
Have you heard the fucking backlash with BYD, right? They're
Yes.
supposedly BYD's heavily struggling, right? And the fact that literally there's people Chinese customers are complaining about their EVs, their vehicles, because quite honestly, I think one person's EV, right, their brake pedal broke. Like
Dang.
yeah, he was driving a
That's
fucking
crazy.
Yes, and you also got the freaking gear shift, right? It's supposedly that sharp it almost scraped his hand. And this is from China, and there's also a guy from freaking Bangkok and Thailand as well. Like Thailand's a big market for them. They're also there's no way in heck they're gonna try and beat BYD and these guys can compete abroad because they're just going to be tariffed heavily by America, the UK, and other companies. I don't think electric vehicles will take off. I see fuck all of them about where I live. I see fuck all of them about. Not to mention, I don't think our fucking energy grid can take it. You also have this fucking idiot Stormer wants to become an AI leader. We don't have the fucking financial capability. We don't have the financial for it. And two, we don't have the fucking energy compatibility. What we should do is invest in these companies when they're fucking penniless, when they've got no money, right? The UK government should take an equity stake in some of these companies, big profitable AI companies up from America, right? And then we have a controlling stake in them, so we profit off them already, right? We cannot afford to fucking implement the technology ourselves, but we can profit, or we can profit off the creation of it.
Found a way to remotely unlock, start, and track millions of Subarus.
Not surprised. Isn't that the company that's doing a merger with Mitsubishi? Or is that another one?
Maybe.
Or is that Honda Mitsubishi?
I wouldn't know, to be honest.
Does it matter anyway? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of those companies, right, they're all owned by each other. Japan's company structure is Zanbatsu's. From the old days of the Zanbatsu, they're and the old feudal days before World War One and Two, right? They were all owned by the same people. Like they like to say they're not owned by each other. Well, they're owned by each other, right? So they all have the same owners. So whoever owns one company owns each other. Yeah. So what else is there?
Let's just see. Not much.
Talk about the fact that China's probably going to be fucked in 20 years from now. They'll be the way China's going, the way the CCP's going, right? They're gonna fucking be poor as fuck. Their country's gonna be fucked. Did I tell you about the fact that the most powerful family in that country has fucking fled to Canada? The wrong family. They're they're more powerful than fucking. They're supposedly valued net worth is about 300 billion. They're a secret powerful family in China. They were his family, and he was the former vice president of China. Before that, his father was literally one of the family members was a former prime minister, a vice president of China, of the Communist Party, right? But before that, the wrong family were very powerful. They created massive amounts of very powerful, very big businesses in China. And this is long before the Communist Party in China took over. A lot of their family members, they fled abroad before it even happened. And they kept their businesses and they moved their businesses abroad. One of them, a small amount of their family stayed in China, when I think all of them probably should have left. But yeah, it's bad. If they're no longer wanting to fund China anymore, right? So it must be bad if they're leaving. Must mean that China's about to go through massive economic turmoils. Either that, or they realize there's going to be a war happening soon, and they don't want to be involved in it. They know for a fact that they're probably not going to win. I don't think China's as powerful as they say. I think it's struggling massively. There's women in China resorting to fucking selling their bodies just to provide for their children. So that's happening. That's happening in all our countries. But they make the claim that China's rich, but it's not rich. It's poor. The money, everyday Chinese person's not getting that money. China might be a very powerful country, but it is not getting the everyday citizens in there is not getting the money. So what else is there?
Man uses flamethrower to clear snow an ice-covered street in Georgia.
Interesting. Canada to leave Quebec. No, Amazon to leave Quebec. Get rid of all 5 of its warehouses in Quebec. Montreal, they tried to unionize. Amazon said, fuck that. Bye-bye. We're leaving. We're moving to America. Yep. What else is there? Anything big going on?
Google glitch removes Biden from US president's list. Issue fixed quickly.
He was never president to begin with.
Well, everyone was talking about it, so...
Biden wasn't president, though. Biden wasn't president. He the fact they're willing to admit it. Supposedly,
he was at that White House
Barack
for 4
Obama
years.
supposedly cheated on Michelle with Big Mike, with a woman. I thought Barack Obama was a homosexual. Didn't we all? But supposedly, he's cheating on Michelle with a woman. I think he's just getting divorced because he wants to start dating men. He just secretly doesn't want to date her anymore. Maybe he thinks that she's a lunatic. Who knows?
Meta to begin testing ads on Threads, its microblogging app.
Was that it? They've still got that? I thought they got rid of that.
Oh no, Threads is still up.
Does anybody even fucking use it? Nobody talks about it.
Well, there have actually been more people using it than it first went after it launched. So, well, it's not big, but it's gotten more active users.
Is it enough to fucking warrant it still being up? I presume.
I don't think it'll be enough, but they'll get by quite comfortably.
For now.
For now, yes.
For now.
It won't last forever. For Zuckerberg.
We all know he's not really a total conservative. We all know Musk ain't really one either. I suspect that Bezos might be a conservative secretly, but they're all doing it what they think was best for their companies, and they realise. Surprisingly, Walmart's not very conservative. No, Costco isn't. Yeah, surprisingly, Costco's not very conservative. Because they apparently want to focus on they want to keep DEI policies in their company. And I'm not sure it's a good idea, especially since Trump frickin' said you're not allowed to discriminate against people. He did it in the government, right? But I think it's going to be his goal is to mandate for that for all companies. So you're not allowed to discriminate against people in hiring practices. But yeah.
World's first carbon neutral city set to open in 2026.
Let me guess, a 15-minute city.
Yes, that's one aspect to look at it.
Does it also say that you can't leave?
Well, it doesn't say that, but it is saying it's something eco-friendly, something.
What the hell does that even mean?
In a bold step towards combating climate change, Norway has announced the completion of the first phase of EcoCity, the world's first fully carbon-neutral urban development. Located just outside Oslo, the city is designed to house 3,000 residents and will run entirely on renewable energy with zero carbon emissions.
Let me guess, that's going to go. That'll be a place with roaming blackouts, most likely. You cannot have if they want to be again. These idiots don't know how to fucking manage shit. Again, I don't think they're taking to the fact that the amount of energy humans use. Some of the WEF policies that the WEF want us to all share cars. That won't fucking happen. Like, these people aren't sane. They also said some very interesting things at the WEF conference. They said that today will be the time where we'll have to tackle misinformation. What misinformation? When we call you out for being criminals. What else is there?
Visiting Paris's famous Louvre Museum has become a physical ordeal.
Wow.
Paris's famous Louvre Museum has become a physical ordeal, according to its director. In a leaked memo to the French Culture Minister, Director Laurence Descartes highlighted several issues, from leaks that threaten priceless artwork to inadequate catering.
In what way? Fact that does not.
Well, but from what I just read, it's just saying the artworks in the museum is going to be damaged, and there's the food we provide isn't good enough. Simply
Well, for
what
the
they're saying.
illegals, but fucking do nothing but apparently fucking take up space. They just should be shot. We'll get rid of them. Why are they in our countries? We should just fuck deporting these people. Let's just fucking dispose of them. They shouldn't be in this country. They entered illegally. They committed a crime. They're causing nuisances. Why not just get rid of them? Why not move them out of the country? Why waste the time fucking again for that Alex Rapton guy? That fucking monster. Lots of people are calling for that guy to be fucking hung. I don't blame them. Why would we want to fund and pay for this guy? Why not just let him fucking rot? Why not just fucking off him with a fucking shotgun and let him, or the guillotine, and let us be, and basically save ourselves the tax dollars, roasting this fucking smug little spunk. Thug. It's terrible what they did what the government did. They lied to us. That guy doesn't deserve prison. He deserves death. Kill and maim 10 people. Kill 3 innocent girls, and you maim and damage like 10 other people. What makes him think he deserves life? Why should we give him sympathy? He didn't give any sympathy for these people. Why not put him down? Shoot one fucking thing of lead, a 20 pence thing of lead, and get fucking be done with it. Do you think capital punishment should be brought back in the UK, Jamie? Do you think it's a slippery slope that could be used against us? I do think that as well, but
I think that's a grey area, because although punishment should be given that reflects the crime in question,
the crime is like he stays in prison for 50 years, right? And then he's out. Why the hell are we letting this monster get out at all? Why not just fucking deport him to his country? Deport him back to where he's really from. He ain't British.
Or we could just have intense rehabilitation.
Why would you cost? Why would you do that? Why not just fucking put lead in him? Why would we pay the money to rehabilitate that fucking monster?
I never said we should pay money.
But it'll cost money to rehabilitate these people. When these people will probably never rehabilitate, they'll probably do nothing. They'll probably just be a drain on our tax dollars.
Sorry, guys, what are we talking about again? Sorry,
This fucking murderer that basically murdered innocent children, right? I'm saying, like, the fact that, he has no remorse, and at this point, he's someone that basically he's an immigrant, parents that came here probably legally, right? Well, it's debatable he came here legally. For all we know, his parents could have came on a fucking boat. For all we fucking know. But yeah, he shot 3 innocent children, basically under the age of 10. He really showed that he has no remorse for it, and the media lied about it because the people that freaking caused about the riots, right? That happened a couple of months back in the UK, Eric. We talked about it, right? This is the guy who got found out his race. And it turns out the riots were all the people that were rioting were right, weren't being told the right information about it, and effectively he pled guilty to it, but only because he realised he's fucked. And we still don't think it's good enough. Why the hell should we host people like this? We allow you into our country. We allow you to fucking have a good child, have a good upbringing. And we also learn his brother's disabled as well. So we're paying for that as well.
I'll say that happens when someone doesn't have any form of foundation.
Yes. He was clearly caught with carrying knives multiple times. Why the hell were we? And instead of taking accountability, this government is blaming Amazon. newspapers. That is what they would like you to believe. They would rather blame Amazon. No, you're the one we should be blaming. Why the hell did you? This guy was known to be a terrorist suspect for fucking years, and you did nothing because you were scared of being racist.
Well,
Three innocent girls got
maybe back then he wasn't that
got,
big enough a threat. Yeah, I'm surprised it hasn't been dealt with sooner. It was a point.
because the people preserve or whatever it is, the people that want to freaking protect, the people that want to, that are supposed to freaking look into incidents like this, they didn't want to do it because they were scared of being called racist. Who gives a fuck? Their job's to protect people from dying or being murdered. Think about that. These people need to think about it, right? We need to think about it like this. What this Wrexham guy needs to think, what this little bastard needs to think about is like, what happened? Let's say one of these white men, right? Let's say one of us like fucking murdered your fucking disabled brother. How do you think you'd feel? Now think about how these girls, think about all these innocent children, these 3 children that you murdered, right? Let's say we did that to his fucking disabled brother. I wonder how he'd fucking react. He wouldn't be reacting nicely, would he? That's self-respect. This is a country that you're a guest. These people might think they're British citizens. They're not British citizens. They're a guest. They've never been British citizens. The only British citizens I recognise are the people of Ireland, the people of Scotland, the people of Wales, and the people of Ireland, England, Scotland, and Wales. That's the only people that are British. Anybody else is a fucking guest. Yes, they can come here. Yes, they can live here. They can get a passport. They can live here. They have basic citizenship. But in the eyes of the fucking British public and the people that really matter in this country, I'm not talking to politicians, I'm talking to everyday people like you and me. We are the only British people here. Poland, we might love Polish people, we might love Romanian people, we might like them, but they'll never be citizens. They can get citizenship by the government, doesn't mean they're citizens. Like, even if I came to America, doesn't mean I'm going to be an American citizen. I'll be an outsider. But it is what it is. So what else is there? Anything big popular going on?
Whole endless veteran software executive to help fix AI in Siri.
Veteran software.
A veteran software executive.
Interesting. Cool.
Yes.
Let me see. What's there?
I haven't really checked to see what else there is on.
1940 propaganda.
What?
1940.
Oh yeah, there was this British advert comparing kids that have eaten a regular.
Why are
English...
you denying?
What?
Rape cases are now being scheduled for as far off as 2027. Is that because before they're ousted from government?
What's this about?
Rape cases are now being scheduled as far off as 27, so we're not getting any accountability till 2027. Justice delayed is justice denied. This, how much can you think of this is literally just wait until you get out, sap?
Well, they'll do anything, whatever it takes.
I mean, yeah, they'll pretty much do anything to keep people safe. Specific people safe.
Not safe, just so we don't freaking...
What are you going to say, Riz?
A 7-year-old was killed after being stabbed 85 times. A 6-year-old girl was killed after being stabbed 122 times. A little girl was stabbed 32 times. She was running out of the building when the attacker pulled her back inside. She survived. A 9-year-old girl after multiple stab wounds and injured to her skull and ribs. The attacker also continued to stab children after they collapsed on the floor. I have no words to describe such evil. And there has been a big cover-up about this attack.
Hold on, 132 times you said?
122 times, 32 times, and 85 times. A 6-year-old was 122 times. And it was a girl. A 6-year-old girl.
How does anyone have time to do that 122 times?
God knows. That's the math that you want freaking... And he supposedly covered this up. This is why the Southport murder... This is the Southport attack. The Southport attack. This is basically what led to the Southport riots. Don't blame them. If they're doing national emergency rather like Trump is doing, Reform UK Prime Minister Rowe says there are a number of treaties that the UK must execute to deport illegal immigrants just leaving the ECHR.
What's happening?
Not much.
How do you guys think he's doing?
Who?
Trump.
I'm quite happy with what he's doing. There's certain things I don't 100% like the whole thing with... There's a couple things in it I'm not that fond of, like the AI thing, the AI thing with Oracle. And all the elites, right? I'm not a big fan of that. I'm happy that he fucking pardoned Ross Ulbricht. Ulrich,
I
the guy
heard
that helped found the Silk Road. I'm glad he freaking pardoned that bloke. I'm glad he pardoned the fucking January 6 people, because I thought that was fucking evil what they did, what these people did, and it was a grave injustice. I'm glad he pardoned some, I'm glad he pardoned the people that were I'm glad he pardoned the people that were basically these, like, Life Matters people, like these people, these 10, I think it was 10 people that are elderly, right, that basically were protesting basically the murdering of innocent children, basically through abortions and that. They were arrested under Biden's administration. Also, did you hear that Trump basically called out J.P. Morgan and Bank of America for effectively banning conservatives from their financial products?
I did not. All I really heard.
Yeah, that was at the WEF conference, by the way.
Honestly, all I really heard was like, he signed an executive thing to
More
ban.
explanation. Wait, if this is true, more speculation, rumors that Trump might declassify all the secret NSA files, including the deep end.
Well, I think he had your suspicions about that. I think he had your suspicions about, like, brief classifications, because he said, what if they lie?
Yeah.
But, for the most part, I just kept hearing the news, and, like, he an executive bill to, like, ban CBC, but they're really going to use crypto to introduce the whole technology thing when it comes to digital currency.
Where do we find making Trump song signs, or when are we going to get the freaking JFK files? I want to know where they are.
I don't know.
JFK files release.
It's all wait. If he does it, if he doesn't do it, then, well, in that scenario, he is just full of it. Then
Trump Jr. Wait, are they trying to block Tulsi Gabbard from getting elected to being voted in to do her thing?
Well, if that is the case, she isn't the only one who's been blocked.
Pete Hegseth got in. He's now the defense secretary.
Yeah, interesting.
What?
Is
that one of the ones you didn't think would get in?
Yeah, I didn't think it would be that easy for him to get in, because he was questioned about ASEAN, like the training group in Southeast Asia.
In what question? What do you mean by training group?
I saw an Instagram reel where someone on the board who was trying to question Hegseth. It's been a while looked into that, but yeah, I thought, man, this is not going to be easy for him whatsoever.
Well, he's a Christian as well, so they'll hate him even more. What was it? Patel. What was it? Patel in that?
Patel?
Yeah. There was this Indian guy, the CIA guy, he wanted for the CIA. It was this Indian guy. I can't remember what his name was.
Okay.
I think he wanted him as the director of the FBI or the CIA. It was one of them. Ash Patel. I wonder if he got in. Can we do a nominated check on who got no?
Alright, so far, Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, has got in the cabinet. John Radcliffe, Director of the CIA, got in. And Susie Wiles, Chief of Staff, is also in.
Is that all?
That's it for now, as if it's recording.
Pete Hegseth is also in as well.
Okay.
Hegseth's in, as I remember correctly. RFK, I don't know if he's in. So what else is there?
Let's just see. Brazil government to cut some import taxes to lower food costs.
Trump just admitted on live TV that something hit LA, caused the fires. It looks like I don't want to say what it looks like. We don't talk about what hit. It's a bad situation. What do you think it's referring to?
Yeah, sorry.
This lady, she's right. What's the point in having a royal family if they don't speak up for its own people? Why should we support them when they show us no support whatsoever? King Charles has been a real disappointment. Why not get rid of the monarchy and join America? It's a 51st state. 51st, 52nd, and 53rd, 54th state. The state of Scotland. The state of England. The state of Scotland. The state of England. Scotland, England, Wales, Northern Ireland. And if they want to break it up even more, we can have the state of North Scotland.
Yes, sir. Yeah, sorry guys. I'm currently in a hotel.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
But yeah, like, did you guys hear, like, about the news, about, like, what I told you about, like, Michelle Obama, and how, like, Big Mike was
Yeah.
Big Tito. And I saw that video. I saw of that video coming
Supposedly,
out.
yeah, supposedly, what was his name? One of the biggest guys, right? Supposedly saying that at the elite parties, right? Partly Michelle Obama's heavily in that.
I'll be honest. I don't know why, but I didn't expect that. Obama, I expected, but Michelle, or Mike, because I'm not gonna lie. There were some exes that came out and said like they fiddled with children before they transitioned to a woman.
Wouldn't
It's like I'm not gonna
surprise me.
I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of proof that this woman was a man before, and it's a lot of proof that Obama is a closeted homosexual.
Well,
So
he
it's
is
like at
one.
this, well, yeah. I mean, he has ex-girlfriends. He has men he slept with before who can definitely vouch for that as well.
This guy's making a very case for Satan. The fact that Satan might be real. If
Who?
Satan were real, he would remove the idea of God, replace religion with wokeism, replace the truth with your truth, my truth. He
Well,
can
yeah,
demonize masculinity so men are less masculine, push radical feminism to make
that's what
women less
second.
feminine, call gender roles oppressive, tell humans not to have children because it accelerates climate change, encourage women to get millions of abortions a year, push birth control on women so they are attracted to men they otherwise wouldn't be, put the population on antidepressants, implement the idea that man and women are social constructs, tell kids that they're in the wrong body, normalize all of the above, spiritual warfare is real, pay attention. We do.
I mean, yeah, that's just general That's also it also has everything to do with secularism, secularism too, because it's like I'm not gonna lie, uh, I'm not saying it can be good, but it cannot be as terrible as it is now. Even if you want to be a secular person, it
Why do
shouldn't be
you
as.
who? I still think it's Labour's fault, but that's just me.
Yeah, that's true. All right, what else is in the news? Let's see.
There's a picture of JD Vance and his wife. I don't think it looks that bad.
And I'm not gonna lie, JD, like I said, man, JD Vance's wife, she's not ugly. She's not
He's not
ugly,
ugly.
and it's like,
He realised, why the fuck would I want to date one of those psycho leftists? And he thought he married a semi-based Indian girl. It's not that bad. You also got
wait,
to remember Indians are partly British as well, because of the amount of it, but
but they're brown,
of how long we've ruled over them.
but they're brown.
So half the fucking half of. Do you realise half our fucking empire was brown?
Yeah, I know. Sure. That's what. No, that's what people. No,
Oh,
that's what people. That's what people in America would say.
yeah. Look,
Okay.
the thing is, like they say, oh, Britain's racist. How can we be racist when we had a multicultural empire? We had people. We had Asians.
That's
We had
true.
Asians. We had, in fact, a big majority of our empire was Asian.
That's true.
We had Indians. I think they were 400% of our 400 of our population. We had Canadians. We had people. We had small parts of Spain. Spaniards that actually lived in Britain. We had Spanish populations. We had Indian populations. We had Australian populations. We had native tribes. We had native tribes. We had a bunch of Saudis under us, Arabs under us. We had Arabs. We had Africans. We had Asians. We all got to remember what Asian countries were under us. Singapore was under us. Hong Kong was
Yeah.
under us. India was under us. Burma was under us. Burma. So Brunei, whatever the hell it is, that was another country of ours. Vietnam wasn't ours. That was French.
Vietnamese women look really, really good. I'm not gonna lie.
Laos, I don't think. Laos was France as well. Cambodia was France. We had Malaysia. Malaysia was ours. Indonesia was ours. Papua New Guinea was ours. Jamaica was ours. Gibraltar.
Hmm.
Yeah, let me check. I've got a map of the world anyway right now, so let me check.
All right, let me also check and see if there's some other news. Stephen Miller, to Haitian who said he wasn't going back to Haiti. He's going back.
Of course.
I'm pretty sure Suriname was one of our nations, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Suriname was the Netherlands at one
Guyana.
point.
What was Guyana?
Did you guys hear about Haiti's immigrant who said like F Trump?
Well, he's a
No, I
fucking
haven't heard
illegal.
about
Why would I
that.
care what his opinion? Piss off. You came here illegally, buddy.
Yeah, that's true. I
Even
mean, I don't
Eric
even like.
Adams is trying. Did you hear the interview of Mayor Eric Adams and like fucking Tucker Carlson? I think he's trying to actually change his image and make himself believe in some he's a Tory, a conservative, but it won't work. You are the mayor of a conservative of a very liberal state. You again at certain points you stood up Guyana. Guyana's French as well, ain't it? Or was that British?
I think
Is
Guyana was once British. I think that's not to be confused with British Guiana, which is still a territory or department of France.
It is a territory of France, yes.
Yes.
Bolivia,
Guyana is a separate.
and Venezuela.
Venezuela is Spanish.
JD Vance at March for Life event.
Trinidad
says,
and Tobago.
America's success is not
That was
determined
British.
by GDP, but by healthy families.
No, all of Venezuela was under the Spanish Empire.
Colombia,
Also Spanish.
Ecuador,
Also Spanish.
Peru,
Spanish.
Bolivia,
Spanish.
Paraguay,
Spanish.
Argentina.
Certainly Spanish.
We conquered half of it. We took land from Argentina. Chile,
Spanish.
Brazil,
That was Portugal.
Mexico, Spanish.
Spanish. Yes.
Belize. I'm pretty sure Belize.
Definitely. That was certainly British. Belize.
Guatemala,
Guatemala was
El Salvador,
Spanish.
Honduras. If I remember correctly,
Spanish.
Honduras
was Spanish.
Parts of Honduras, if I remember correctly, were British.
Okay.
British Honduras, if I remember correctly. Nicaragua,
Spanish.
Costa Rica,
Spanish.
Panama.
Spanish.
I could have sworn Panama was British, but heck.
We're just listing Spanish countries.
No, we're listing former states of Spain.
Gotcha.
Cuba was Spanish.
Jamaica was British. Haiti.
Yes. Haiti was French.
Dominican Republic.
That was Spanish.
Puerto Rico, I remember, was Spanish.
Yes, and then it's now part of the United States.
Okay, let's name Africa. Algeria. What, Algeria?
No, Nigeria.
British.
Nigeria.
British.
Nigeria was British.
Yeah, Morocco.
Morocco. This is a funny one.
Morocco was a part of Morocco, if I remember correctly, was I think Portuguese, wasn't it? At one point,
no,
Spanish?
no. Morocco, for the most part, was under the French Empire, but there are parts of modern day Morocco that's actually parts of Spain. Like,
pretty sure there's parts of Africa that were freaking Portuguese at one point till they got ripped off by the Spanish.
Yes. Angola, Mozambique,
Western Sahara. That was Western Sahara was Spain, wasn't it?
Western Sahara, not sure actually. It could either or Spanish or French, but I think most of Morocco was under French influence. Although there are parts of what could be Morocco is actually under Spanish control as of now.
Mauritania.
Or it's French.
Oh yeah. Mali,
French.
Did we have some stuff to do with South Africa, right? Because why am I thinking that Britain used to have some territory in what used to be Mesopotamia?
Yeah, South Africa was under British. I think the British Empire did have South Africa, but afterwards, I think between then and now, there was at some point Dutch influence in South Africa. Just like with Australia, but...
remember correctly, we took the German colonies from Germany after World War I. Senegal?
Yeah. Senegal, French.
I'm surprised that all the Bantoid nations haven't merged into one nation. There's so many territories in Africa, right? Some of them makes you think that some of them should merge just to be stronger. Be stronger states.
Yeah.
Senegal, what was that? Was that British or was that French?
Senegal was certainly French.
Guinea-Bissau?
Portuguese.
Guinea?
British.
Sierra Leone?
Sierra Leone was British.
Liberia?
Liberia was under neither empire.
It did have some colonization from America at the start.
Yes, Liberia was formed after black African American slaves escaped the United States.
There were if I remember correctly, there were some slaves that did get offers that they wanted to go to freaking. In the British Empire, they were offered that they wanted territory and land in other parts of the British Empire. I remember correctly at one point. Close to the Ivory Coast. That sounds British. Ghana.
British.
Well, I can see a pattern here. The British and the French, they didn't want them to have power on their own, so they fucking made them to tiny pitting states.
Yeah. I can see why that would make sense.
So they didn't want them to grow anything, they wanted them to be weak.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't want them to
you
be...
don't see any of them calling to fucking reunify and become a massive nation.
Because it was...
Africa's the only one that had the balls to fucking unify and became as big as it is. Is that because Britain didn't want them to or they decided finally to...
Well, what the empires didn't want was to have their colonies have enough land area and enough economical power to the point they would never have to rely on their colonial parents ever again.
But South Africa's pretty powerful.
Yeah, I think that was somewhat a mistake on the British Empire's part. Like, again, it's a big enough landmass.
Did you hear about the controversial law? It's basically a law to allow them to seize land from basically farmers, so they can basically steal the farms from Britain, from the Dutch farmers and South African farmers.
Yeah, I've heard something about that.
Yeah, it was
Libya. I think actually Libya was...
Yes, Tripoli.
Yes, interesting.
You've also got to remember Egypt for a long time was Italian, was Roman.
Yes, the Roman Empire.
Sudan. What was that again?
British.
Eritrea,
Italian.
Ethiopia.
It was just like Liberia. It was under neither power.
Under neither, but it was a British protectorate for a while.
Yes, but the Italians would argue that Ethiopia was at some point under Italian control, but Ethiopia was like, nah, get the heck out. We're taking our country.
They didn't even get the fucking opportunity. They fucking failed. Somalia.
Italian.
Jubilant.
Pardon?
Kenya.
Kenya was British.
Uganda
was British.
Rwanda.
It's either French or British. I'm not too sure about that. But I know Burundi was certainly French for sure.
Tanzania.
They could be British.
Mozambique.
Portuguese.
Zimbabwe
was British.
Zambia.
British.
Botswana.
British.
Yeah. Angola was French, wasn't it? In the Dominican Republic. DR Congo.
Angola was Portuguese. The Democratic Republic of the Congo was Belgian, actually.
Why the fuck would they let the DRC becoming that as big as it is?
The question is, why did Belgium get a hand off DRC to begin with?
It was a colony. I think it was a colony of Germany or Italy, and they couldn't decide about who they wanted, so they gave it to poor little Belgium.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Iran,
possibly British influence.
I think we did have French relations. Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan was part of Soviet Russia of the USSR.
Do you think those states will get reabsorbed at some point?
No, at least not in recent times.
Do you think? So, what parts of Ukraine do you think Russia will keep?
I think there are two autonomous regions that wanted to break away from Ukraine, but the Ukrainian government was like, no, you're under Ukrainian control, and I think they would rather have... I think those two autonomous regions would rather be under Russian control than Ukrainian.
What one were those two? Were they?
I think one of the autonomous regions was called Donetsk, and I'm not sure what the other one was called.
Crimea?
No, not Crimea. I think Crimea is already under Russian control, but that's arguable.
Apparently, right now.
That is
Odessa, maybe?
Yeah, I think that's the one. I think... No, I don't think... No, it's not Odessa.
Do you think China will break up?
No, surprisingly not.
You don't think China will break in two?
Although the provinces in China do have the economical power to stand as their own nations, they would rather still remain as PRC.
Laos,
I think that was French.
Thailand.
Thailand was not just like Ethiopia. It was not under any.
I think it was a protectorate of Britain. Thailand, I think it was anyway, but I could be wrong. The UAE, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE, I think Oman and Yemen were all protectorates. I think Jordan was a protectorate as well. The British, if I remember correctly, they were heavily happy to allow Saudi Arabia to rebuild and take most of Saudi Arabia. Well, they couldn't do anything to stop them anyway. So what else is there?
Boom. Research reveals 31% of increased risk of long COVID in women.
Long COVID.
Wait,
Yeah.
you said long in women?
No such fucking thing. I do see fucking weirdos wear masks, and I still think, God, what the fuck has the BBC done to you fuckers? I still see women, young women or men wear masks. I think, jeez, what the hell happened?
In their 20s?
I would say, yeah, maybe they look like they're in their 20s, right? And I also see like one person that are elderly, like wear masks. Like, why are you wearing masks? There's no reason to wear a mask. You're not going back into lockdown. I ain't going to allow you to go back into lockdown. I don't want to fucking go back into lockdown. I think Trump's basically told them to fuck off, effectively. He's banned any of these agencies from, health agencies for, blattering about a pandemic. So he's basically got that unlock and key. We're not having our pandemic. Interesting.
What could it be?
Do you think Scandinavia would ever unite?
Not sovereignly, but they can make some kind of trade union where they can benefit each other's goods and services.
Do you think Britain will ever become strong again?
No.
Do you think it'll come to the point where Britain will have to join America or join a bigger nation?
Maybe.
Would you prefer it to be the EU or America?
I prefer America, honestly.
I personally believe that it'd be better for us. Why would we join the fucking EU? That's that's an economic stagnant drain. The reason why they're begging us to rejoin the EU is because we're the only one with a functioning army, and they don't. And quite honestly, the only way I would join the EU is if they were to submit all of the EU countries were to submit to Britain. It's the only reason why I would join. Only if you submit your armies to me, you get rid of all your militaries, and you make Britain the king, and you rejoin our empire. Imagine Europe under Britain. The French would be weak, the Germans would be weak, and all the tiny pitting states would be our allies. Do you think Russia will ever become strong again?
I thought it already is.
Let's say, no, I mean to the point where they could challenge America, overtake America, military power.
No, I think Russia is in its peak.
Right now.
Yes.
Do you think China will collapse?
Yes, but it's not going to be drastically collapsing.
Do you think the Communist Party will collapse?
I think the concept of it could collapse in the next few decades.
Do you think that would lead to something similar to the USSR, where some states break away?
Probably not, because the thing is, the CCP in China, they all share the same culture, mainly understand each other most of the time.
So same with Russia. Russia shared the same culture with their people. Ukraine and Russia and Poland shared the same culture. They still broke away. They're effectively Russian.
That's a different story with how the USSR broke up as opposed to what China could be. Because there have been nations that have existed before the USSR formed. Especially the Baltic nations.
Specifically Britain.
Well, Britain, of course, has always existed for many years.
America's a child compared to us. We've stood towards the kingdom of time. We've been around since the time of old little Rome. We were once a little tiny Roman province. Now we are powerful. What do you think is going to be the next superpower coming out of Europe?
I'm thinking, and this is a stretch, for some reason, I'm looking at Ireland.
Ireland?
Yes, for some reason. Not now, but in the next few decades.
In what way?
Well, for some reason, business is one factor I look at, because, in the last few years ago, the average Irish was dirt cheap, but now most of the average Irish is like at least a couple quid richer than most European nations.
I would say Poland.
Yeah, Poland's my next guess as well.
I would say Poland. I think they're going
Like,
to be
yeah,
extremely wealthy.
the Polish culture is very strong there.
I think they'll be extremely well. I think they'll be extremely wealthy. I think they'll be extremely wealthy. I think they'll be a military. I think they'll be a regional power at some point. They might even overtake. I think they'll overtake. I think they might even overtake Germany in military power.
Maybe.
And maybe they might get revenge for what the
Oh yeah.
Polish body did to them.
Oh my gosh, imagine they get their revenge
Imagine
after so many decades.
Imagine they go to war and take Berlin.
That would be hilarious.
Take Berlin, and then they take Schleswig, Bremen, Ruhr, or Jutland. Well, they can't take Jutland. Jutland's freaking Scandinavian, or effectively was Jutland effectively a German province at one point? No, Jutland. It sounds like a German name.
Jutland or Jutland.
I think
I think Jutland was once German, but now it's part of Denmark.
It was once part of Germany because during the World War II.
Yes, but now
And a
it
long
is
time
part of
ago
modern day
before that as
Denmark.
well.
I think that's us.